If you were to dream for something, what would you dream for?
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
We at the Decker team have enjoyed over 30 years of helping people. Not only selling and buying real estate, but also helping people build their finances, helping people build their self-worth, helping people build their faith, and helping people strengthen, heal, and flourish in their relationships. 30 years of helping people build their life and their home. So for many of us, if we said, what do I dream for? Or I asked somebody what they dream for, they would probably say something like, oh, I dream of a new car, an Audi or an Infinity or a Lexus or something. Or my daughter would say she dreams of a Mustang convertible. They might dream about a new home or a bigger home. They might dream of a pet or spending time on vacation with a loved one or piece of jewelry or something. But Silas, I think you're a little bit different. What do you dream for?
Ken, I think all these dreams that people dream are valid, and I just want to thank everybody, because without a dream, you don't live a purposeful life and you don't achieve. But for us and for me as Silas, working with the community, my greatest dream and what I look forward to is to see a life that will one day stand on their own feet, that will one day be able to effectively provide and care for their family. I dream for this institution to be able to grow to the level of university and vocational training institution.
So let me get this straight. You dream of a university in Yogo Village.
I dream of a university in Yogo Village.
Wow.
And when I will see the university come up in Yogo Village, and I will tell you the reason as to why. In our own projection to stand with one life, take them from abyss of poverty to be able to assess your performance and say, I have helped that life. It is a lifetime commitment, because you take a child 3 years, take them through 3 years of kindergarten, 8 years of primary, 4 years of high school, and 4 years of university or vocational courses, technical courses like plumbing or masonry or electrical work. That is almost 20 years, 22 years. So you give yourself a grace period of maybe another 3 years. We are talking about 25 years of working with one life. And when they stand up, and right now, the greatest challenge and trouble we have worked with these children up to grade 8. Our institution doesn't have a high school. We don't have extra funds, because every resource we have, we really stretch. When this child slips off our hand at grade 8, where do they go? At 14 years. And you took them from a family which could not afford $40 for their education, to give them food and uniform. And children in our school, when it comes to a weekend, they hate it. Have you ever heard of somebody hating a weekend? And that's because at home, they are not assured of food. When we drop them off, it is like somebody who has been lifted off darkness into the top of a rock, and then you've just left them slip off the cliff, and they go back worse, because that hope that had been spurred is gone.
So you're saying if we now leave that child after bringing them through kindergarten, primary, at grade 8, if we just let them go to their own volition, the family that they came from doesn't have the funds to send them to high school. And so you've given them so much hope and a certain level of education and language and skill and reading and writing, but it's not enough.
But they cannot survive. What would, even in this developed world, would you leave a 14-year to start life on their own? They would not. But here there are so many opportunities, because here at 16 years, somebody can work at McDonald's and somebody can. But you can't leave them at that point to make life that would be with hope.
Right.
And so what we are talking about here, because people have been living in those parts of the world, but they've been living a hopeless life, a basically scratching life, waiting for their death. but we want lives that will live their full purposes. Yes.
So back 10 years ago, it was most of the day was spent on trying to find food,
Yes.
going to find water, carry water. Maybe the water is diseased or not the best. And today, I know at Yogo Village, I've seen some pictures. There's running water, not in every home, but there's running water. There's irrigation for the farm. There's electricity.
Yes.
And again, it's not in every home.
Yes.
But there is electricity in the village. And there's electricity at the school.
Yes.
Yes. And I saw some pictures. You were just building something. Because when I went there, we had pit latrines, right?
Today, Yogo has transformed, and that's why I made a joke and told you in the next few years, it might just look like a town, because there was not even a road to get into Yogo. There were walking paths, but to drive a vehicle into Yogo, your vehicle would be scratched. I don't know how your Acura would look like, but today we have a road into Yogo. Today we have electricity. People had wells that were 15, 20 meters away from a pit latrine. As a microbiologist, today you understand the underground percolation. They are drinking out of their fecal matter. They are basically drinking contaminated water.
Yes.
But today we have drilled a well, cased and fully enclosed. That water is tested yearly. It is pumped. Yogo has 4 water points in the community from which the community can pick clean water. Electricity has come 3 kilometers away from the grid into the community. And this is because we also work closely with the government. And I want to appreciate the government of Kenya for coming on board to help facilitate where need and where they can community development. And that electricity is huge. And thank partners, Today we have a complete school. We started with 30 children, Ken. Today we have 327 children.
327 children.
In the program in one community, and 167 pupils in the second community.
Now, something that I was amazed at, because you don't have that many sponsors for 300. How many?
327
27
and we
children.
have 40 children sponsored.
You only have 40 children sponsored.
Yes.
So how in the world are you supporting a school of over 300 with 40 children sponsored, and you're feeding them 2 meals a day, breakfast and lunch, and
providing books, exercise books and textbooks, all school stationaries, paying teachers. We have a staff between Seje and Yogo, over 50 staff. Teachers.
50 staff?
Yes. Teachers, cooks, watchmen, drivers, all of that, farm managers, all of that comes to 50 staff plus. We paid, I would say all our workers sacrifice a lot, because if you consider paying a worker $150 a month, but we are sacrificing for something tomorrow. Yes.
So your teachers believe in what they're doing.
Yes. And I know you asked, how are we mitigating the gap? 40 students sponsored, 300. One thing that we thought very quickly is that we didn't want to be over-dependent on our partners and friends who are supporting us. And having lived here, I understand people commit to support, but things can happen in life for anybody here or in Kenya. And when that happens, and the person supporting drops off the support, it's a huge burden for me on the ground. And so we started quickly to see, how do we generate our own local funding? And so we've allowed some students in the community whose parents have been blessed, because not every Kenyan is poor, that are able to pay for their children's education. And because of our performance, as they pay, the revenue we collect locally is able to help us mitigate the recurrent expenditure.
So I'm so excited, Silas, about what you're doing. And if any of our listeners, you might be a listener and you're going, I want to get involved in this. This is something that I could really sink my teeth into. Then send us an email at info@DeckerTeam, and we'll connect you with Silas or with the charities that you can research it. And just so glad that you joined us today.